Alright, it is 9:35 a.m. and I want to see if this one can continue the uptrend. I did get out of it just because of the way that I didn't like how the big was starting to be very distant each level from each other, and then I didn't like the amount of sellers at the ask, but this thing can continue the uptrend. I did take this trade. Why? Well, this is what I was looking at yesterday. I was looking at a break past a round number of the 60 sub penny level, and it did get to it twice, as you can tell right here, but it was never able to do it because there were just too many sellers at the ask. It wasn't able to uptrend, and it was like a significant level to break past, if you ask me, because it was a nice round number above this 57 top right here, and it was able to do it this morning, which is why I took a trade with it, and I did buy some shares. I bought 25,000 shares at 61, and that was at 932. So right here, right when it was breaking past the 60 sub penny round number right here, I got in at 61, and it did uptrend, but I just don't like the way there are a lot of sellers at the ask, so I got out of this one, even though it's continuously trying to uptrend. And then I had a trend line drawn, so once it was breaking it right here, I decided to play it safe and get out, especially because 57 was never at the bid. There were a lot of people in the 60s, so when this one started to show up, it kind of gave me, just a fear that it could get to it very quickly and fail. But this thing can also just continue to break past the 64 level with a big volume, and it can continue the uptrend some more. I did sell not half of my position, but close to half at, yeah, that was 10,000 shares at 934, which was right here. This candle 934. I sold some at 63. And then I sold, I tried to sell at least the same minute more at 63, and I had a partial fail, so I did cancel that one when it didn't seem like I was going to be able to get all of the shares sold at 63. I canceled the order, although again some shares did get executed, about half, and I sold the last remaining piece at 62, and that was at 935. Again, when it was breaking under this trend line right here, and I wasn't too happy with the way it was doing that. Wow, yeah, looks like it's trying to get to 65 now. I just didn't like how it broke under the trend line and how thin the bid looked compared to the ask, but now it looks a lot better. And I guess we're going to see if we're going to be able to break 65, because that had a lot of sellers there. It didn't even touch 65, but it might try to later. That's it for right now. I'm going to be looking for more setups, and I'll make an update later. It is 11:58 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on a day, $4.28, and that was that one trade with WLAN. Something interesting about this stock, it did uptrend over a longer period of time. My trade was right here, and I don't really like how it did it because it didn't have much volume, but it did uptrend and trade a new range, and then the volume dried up again, and it did break this level right here, as you can see, and it got much higher, but that was because of a lot of volume. This is pretty impressive. I was just trading for a morning spike, but this thing continued to move much higher, although not very consistently. It did do a nice uptrend, and it will be something I'll continue to watch. This one downtrended, but it wasn't really something I wanted to take because it went down with not much volume. This one also downtrended, but no significant volume, no clean price action. This one I'll be looking at. This thing could be a short squeeze, and this could be pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of this one, although this one is a lot nicer. This was a very similar one where it had a run up right here, and then it kind of downtrended, and then it came back and actually broke the first run up and continued to run a few more days before it ultimately sold off. I'm not saying this stock is going to do the exact same thing, but this thing could be something where a lot of short sellers are watching it, thinking it's going to be a double top, and then it squeezes. I will be watching it for that reason. I might even consider shorting it, but not right now. That's pretty much it. Cool to see this one work out, even though, it was kind of weird the way it did it if I were to have considered a longer term setup. And I'll be looking at MMTOP. That's it for today.